Hello guys, welcome back once again to my channel. You guys remember the story of a young man and his wife who was recording himself in a car as he transported his pregnant wife to an hospital, and in that video he alleged that the hospital where he took his wife to, they were refused treatment because they were asked to deposit 500,000 naira and they were not able to deposit the money, and they were advised to take he was advised to take his wife to an hospital, a government hospital in Ekpe or something, and on their way to that hospital the wife gave up. So I did a live stream about that video and I definitely shared my opinion, like, you know, as to I'm going to pop a screenshot of that live stream here as to the three people that I blamed. I blamed the government, I blamed the hospital, and I also blamed the couple themselves. And what are the reasons why I blame the government? I blame the government that there's no efficient health care services there in Nigeria for Nigerians, and I think as why I also blame the government also is that I think a bill should be passed that no hospital should reject emergency patients. Emergency could be, in the case of this woman and her husband, emergency could be accident victims. You know, when accident victims are being taken to the hospital, the police will ask us to go, the hospital asks us to go and bring a police report, or they will come and be asking for one stupid money for card. You know, I think a bill should be passed that whatever hospital that rejects emergency patients should be fined or maybe face being shut down. That's one way I blame the government. And secondly, I blame the hospital. The reason why I blame the hospital is that what are your etiquettes? Like what did you swear by when you were at medical school, or as an hospital, or as a doctor, as a healthcare professional? What was your oath? What is meant to be your goal? Your goal is to save lives, and you saw a pregnant woman who is in a case of emergency and you did not give them care. I will class that as an emergency. That was the only reason why I blame the hospital. You could have at least help this lady, because at the end of the day you want to preserve her life and you want to preserve the life of her babies, because I heard that she was allegedly expecting twin babies. So that's three people gone. So that's how I blame the hospital. And lastly, why I blame the husband and wife is that they already had 3 children, and in the current state of the current economic state in Nigeria, already have 3 children. And I saw a video of the man, I think he's into animal farming. They already have 3 kids, and if you look at the ages of those children, I don't really see any reason why they are having any more children. Women should learn when to say no, I am not having any more. Or husband and wife should be able to decide to say no, I am not having any more. Because if you're not able to cater for the ones on ground, why are you having more? Because if they are able to cater for themselves, they will have been able to deposit 500,000 naira for her to be able to get that emergency treatment. So I blamed both couple as well. And obviously people have said that, oh, why did she go straight to the hospital? She registered for antenatal. The question is she attending antenatal at all? Is she registered in any hospital at all for antenatal? So those are the reasons. And if you want to listen more to the extensive details of, you know, the blames, you can go watch that live stream. It's still on my channel. Anyway, up until when the husband, obviously this woman passed away in February. The incident happened in February and we only got to know about it a few days ago. So since when the husband came out to allege that this hospital asked him to pay that amount of money, they've not said anything. But according to Punch newspaper here, I'm going to screenshot it here, and today is the 4th. So yeah, the hospital has actually now responded. So according to Punch, dead pregnant woman, Lagos hospital denies requesting 500,000 naira from them. So that's the hospital reply saying that no, they did not request that amount of money from them. So I'm going to read it according to Punch. So the Lagos State Private Hospital As-Salam Convalescent Center, located in Iwere Kunwon, Ibeju, Lekki, has denied claims that it demanded an upfront payment of 500,000 naira before offering treatment to a pregnant woman, Kemi, who later died from pregnancy complications. Kemi's grieving husband, Akimbo Bola Folajimi, I'm going to put his Instagram handle here, made the allegation in a viral video accusing the hospital of refusing to give medical treatment to his heavily pregnant wife due to his inability to make the upfront payments. In the video, Kemi, visibly weak, was seen inside the car while her husband desperately tried to keep her conscious. So he was talking to her, you know, assuring her that he loves her. But at that moment, I don't know the importance of love when your wife is in serious pain. She was so weak, she was frail, you know. It was trying, I guess it was trying to keep her conscious before she became unconscious actually. So Folajimi, the husband of the dead woman, later claimed in a post that after being turned away by the private hospital, they were referred to a general hospital in Ekpe where his wife died On the way, he wrote, in quote, "The doctor told me to deposit 500,000 naira, and I begged him to start doing whatever was needed to save my wife while I ran around for the money, but they drove us out like they didn't care." Unquote, "Unfortunately, they blindly rejected us and asked me to take her to the general hospital at Ekpe, even though the doctor knew that Ekpe from Lakawe is way too far for her condition. Before we rushed her to Ekpe, she was gone." That was what the husband said there. So obviously the emotional video, yes, when I watched that video, I cried myself. I cried myself that in a way it reminded me of my experience when I hemorrhaged with my first son. And I shared that story in the live stream. So if you have the time, please go watch the live stream. The emotional video sparked widespread condemnation of the hospital, with sympathizers demanding reforms to hold medical institutions accountable for such alleged neglect. Yes, I did blame the hospital as well. However, in an exclusive telephone interview with Punch Metro on Thursday, the founder of the hospital, Rauf Salami, denied the husband's allegations. So in this case, who do we believe? He stated that contrary to the claims made online, there was never a discussion about money during the brief time the family spent at the hospital. So what was the explanation? What happened? Why were they not seen? Because we saw them in the car, obviously driving away, and in the van video you could hear the husband saying, "Just take us to any hospital, just take us to any hospital, anywhere, keep driving." So the owner of the hospital explained, in quote, "On the day in question, a pregnant woman was brought to our care. My colleague on duty reported that she had convulsed twice at home before arrival. Upon examination, it was clear that she needed immediate blood transfusion and surgical attention." So why did you not offer that? You already assessed her and you knew that that was what she needed. Why did you not assess that? And I understand there's been other reports from other doctors saying that there was a time a patient came in and they decided to treat the patient, and before they know it, 2 days after, the patient and the mother ran out of the hospital. This doctor actually said that he brought money out of his own pocket because he realized that the product, the antibiotics they needed, that they did not stock it in the hospitals. He had to put money in his own pocket to ask his own secretary to go buy that medication. 2 days after, the people absconded. So who will have paid him? And also, I saw a post from another doctor who said that there was a time they decided to treat an emergency case like that, and when the patient was fine and they decided that, "Oh no, you have to pay up before you go," that they did not. In fact, the husband of the woman has to go call the police, saying that the hospital was holding them against their wishes. So some doctors have come out to say on a normal day they will do this, but victims, patients at the end of getting treatment, this is what they do. They run away. Some family members will abandon their family because they are not able to pay, and as time goes on, the hospital, they are just taking up your hospital bed space, so you have to let them go. So in a way, who do we blame in all of this? Where should all of this blame go to? So please leave your thought and opinion in the comment section in regards to that question, because from my own point of view, I already shared the blames. I've already shared how I've apportioned the blames. But in the case of whereby hospitals have now treated the people and they are now running away or bringing police to say, "Ah, this hospital is holding me against my wish, so I've been here for so days, so because I can't pay, they are holding me." So an hospital, a doctor who doesn't want his name tarnished, what will they do? They'll just have to let the people go, right? So let me keep reading this story. So according to the doctor, in quote, "Given the complexity of the case, we advised the husband to take her to the Ekpe General Hospital, which is better equipped to handle such emergencies. We did not at any time demand any payment, as we prioritize the patient's urgent need for specialized care." He further clarified that Kemi was neither a registered patient at the hospital nor has she visited facility of the day. And I understand as well that if you're just going to a new hospital, it will take time for that hospital to be able to collect or gather your medical condition. So it's just like here in the UK, I only need to register at one place. And let's say for instance now I'm in Scotland and I'm pregnant, I registered there and I decided to move to London. All of my medical records are already stored. That doctor that I'm registered to in London does not even need to ask me questions about my medical record, because there's a record that holds everything about me. So God forbid if anything happens in emergency now, anywhere I find myself in the UK, they already have my medical records. They already know how to go about treating me in the case of emergency. But in the case of the lady now, according to this hospital, they said she was never registered there. She's never been there. So who knows, maybe in the process of them trying to diagnose or treat her, what if she lost her life at the end of the day? Because it will take them to kind of like understand, okay, your pregnancy is this advanced. How do we know if the babies are growing? Is there a record of ultrasounds you've done in the past? Blah, blah, blah. You know, all of those kind of things. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So we've seen cases whereby along the way they are trying to diagnose what was wrong with the patient died in the process. Or as compared to if that patient was already known in that hospital and they already know what stage or what condition she might be experiencing, it will help them to quickly start treatments. So this doctor saying they've never seen her, nor has she ever visited the facility before. So it might be a bit of they don't really know her, and maybe they just don't want her to, end up dying in their hospital. But then my blame still remains just as it is from what I said in my live stream. So the hospital continued. We referred her to a more suitable facility immediately after she was brought in, without even transferring her from the wheelchair used to bring her in. Regrettably, the following Monday, I saw a misleading post by the woman's husband on TikTok claiming that our facility had rejected his wife. Speaking on the backlash, Salami admitted feeling deeply frustrated, saying, in quote, going by the reactions of what happened, it may frustrate one to the point of contemplating suicide because it was deeply frustrating, but that notwithstanding, people have been telling me to sue him. I could do that because I have my evidence. We would love to see that evidence, please. We would love to see that evidence. He reiterated that the woman was in critical condition upon arrival and that the hospital lacked the necessary resources to handle her case, hence the referral. In quote, the woman was not registered in the hospital. We didn't know her when they brought her in. We discovered it was something we could not handle. If we had given her just one drip that day, she could have died because there was no blood left in her body. Wow. In quote, and to get blood in this medical profession is not something you can just go to the counter and demand. So we advised him to take her to a facility where she could be properly cared for. They didn't spend more than 3 to 4 minutes before they left, he added. Considering her medical state, Salami speculated that Kemi might not have been receiving antenatal care at any hospital before the day she was brought to the hospital. That's another question that it will be important if the husband actually come out here and actually let us know what was put in place. The wife is that heavily pregnant. Is she attending any antenatal at all? Does she attend antenatal? So the man continued saying, I don't think the woman was registered in any hospital because if she had been receiving treatment during her antenatal period, she wouldn't have been in that condition. What supplements was she using? What multivitamin was she using? We know in Nigeria, even here in diaspora, immediately you confirm that you are pregnant, your doctor will start you straight away on folic acid. Was she receiving any supplement like that? Was she using anything of such? Was she eating well? How was she caring for herself? These are questions that we would love our husband to come here and answer. We asked them to go to the general hospital because it was something we could not handle. He concluded by saying he had left everything in God's and saying, in quote, I am a Muslim and whatever comes a Muslim's way, the best thing to say is Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. I'm sorry I'm not able to pronounce that, but it means indeed to Allah we belong and to him we shall return. Salami added that despite the controversy, he believes the community members who have patronized his hospital will help restore his integrity. So guys, that is the story from the hospital. They're saying that they never asked the husband to deposit 500,000 naira in any way, and this man said they have their evidence, they have their proof to show that they did not ask for any money. And you guys heard from that reading there that, from assessing her, that it's obviously clear that she was not attending any antenatal, that because if she was actually attending any antenatal, there was no way she would have ended up in that condition, like with lack of blood and stuff like that. Anyway guys, like I said, my blame still remains with the hospital. You could have at least admitted her, and if that eventually happens, based on your investigation as a doctor with your records, you will be able to say this was how they brought the lady in, this was what we observed, and we just had to try our best for her, but unfortunately this was what happened. In that way, you've tried your best for her, but you sending her away puts you in a way that which meant that with your profession you've neglected somebody that needed help. So my blame still remains with you, the doctor, with the hospital. You should have admitted her. And also to the couple as well, if it was true that she was not attending any antenatal, what business do you have having babies? You're already struggling to look after the ones you have on ground. Why have more? And I think lastly, my blame also goes to the government as well. Any hospital that rejects any accident victim, any emergency victim, we should lock them down or fine them. And also, I think it's high time the Women Commission or whatever we have, I think it's the way Mrs. Tinubu, make contraceptives easily accessible for women. We've seen lots of videos of young girls, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds who are pregnant, and whoever impregnating them does not want the baby. And I think sexual education in regards to falling pregnant and all of this, we should say it the way it is in Nigeria, in most schools now. When we are talking about biology is only teaching us reproductive system. It should be more than reproductive system. It should be that yes, we can't really, as parents and everybody everywhere in the world, you can't really figure out what a young girl is doing, because obviously nowadays, back for grand, money for hand, we can't really say this is what they are doing. But while they are still in that vicinity, we should be educating them that, come, if you sleep with a man and you don't protect yourself, you will get pregnant. We just have to keep saying it the way it is. And when we are teaching biology, we should not only be teaching reproductive system alone. We should also be using it as an avenue to educate young girls that come. If you sleep with a boy with no protection, you will get pregnant. And also, I think this is down to another education system, that something has to be done to educate our women as well, that having multiple babies, yes, she already had daughters, female children, female child are children as well. So just because maybe they were looking for a baby boy and she just kept on having more babies. And look at it, I went to look at the page of that guy. Is into animal farming. You need to look at the environment, the vicinity of where he lives. I'm not going to blame him, because obviously he's doing his best as a man, but having more babies when you already have 3 that you're already struggling with, I mean, from his page, why have more? Now this woman is gone. Anyway guys, I don't want to go further. I don't want this video to be longer than what it is. Like I said, if you really want to understand the extent of how we discuss this case on my live stream, I'll leave the link here so that you could go watch. I know, maybe grab 1 or 2 things as well. With that being said, if you've watched the video till now, you've not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Don't forget to like, drop a comment in the comment section, subscribe if you've not yet done so, turn on your post notification, share this video, do not hesitate to join my membership, and I hope to catch up with you in my next video. All right, bye for now. Bye.